So how much does solar cost for your home? It's going to depend mainly on 5 factors. The first of which is going to be the location where you're going to put the system. The most common place you'll see solar panels is going to be on the roof of a home. And the reason for this is kind of obvious. The roof, the structure is already there. So as long as the roof is in good shape, they're cutting out a big cost of doing the ground mount or some kind of structure to put the system on. Now, if the roof needs to be replaced, then you're going to have to take the panels off, replace the roof, and put the panels back on sometime in the future. If you're already planning on replacing your roof, it needs to be done anyways, it's a good time to do it while you do the solar system. Usually your solar company will be able to help you out with the roofing need as well. The second place to put it on would be on your property. So especially if you have some acreage, you can put it really wherever you want. Now keep in mind, the farther away the system's going to be from your electrical panel, the electric box, the more expensive it's going to be, because now we're talking about more material, conduit to run it over there, and more trenching. Especially if you're trenching through concrete, that can get expensive and laborsome. The third option is making more of a commercial structure. Typically you see this as like a carport in schools or any kind of business really. They'll have a carport which gives shade for the cars to park underneath and provide power in a good location. The problem with this is it's going to be very expensive. You're talking about a much stronger, sturdier, and bigger structure than just a ground mount, which is just really a system designed to raise the panels off the ground a few feet, or maybe higher if you have like livestock that you wanted to keep away from the system. It's not nearly the same kind of strength and integrity as a commercial carport type of structure. The second factor is going to be the material itself, mainly the panels. The panels are what's going to really drive the price of the whole system cost. And there's 2 factors that really affect the price of the panels, and that's the performance of the panel, wattage, how much power each panel produces, and the appearance of the panel. So if you have space, premium on space, like you have a smaller roof or only a small section of the roof that gets adequate sunlight, and you have pretty high energy needs, then you might want to buck up and pay for a more expensive premium panel that does 50 to 100 more watts than the other panels you're looking at. And the reason for that is because you'll need less panels to produce the same amount of power. The second thing that drives the price is the appearance of the panel. So if you have what's called a triple black panel, which is a black cell with a black grid, so the backing of the panel is black, and then a black frame, that's going to be a really sleek, complete black panel. So it's a really nice look, and a lot of people like that. You got to be happy with what your home looks like, right? Otherwise, this doesn't make any sense. So to have your return of investment take an extra few months might be worth the cost. But that does drive up the price. So it's kind of like buying a Toyota Camry versus a Lamborghini. Yeah, both of them are going to get you from A to B, but one's going to do it faster and in more style. The third factor that really drives the price of a solar system is going to be who actually installs the system. If you decide to go with a bigger chain, more like a name brand national solar company, they have a lot more costs than a local, smaller contractor will have. And typically they contract out that same contractor anyways to do the work. So they're paying for advertising budgets, salary budgets. They got a public relations team, an advertising marketing team, management team to take care of all the salespeople. So a lot of people there that are really just sitting behind desks and not really bringing any revenue for the company. And that cost is going to get passed on to the homeowner. So if you want to save some money, just do your due diligence and pick out a high quality local installer that knows your project details and understands and is able to handle it properly. The fourth factor that will drive pricing a lot is obviously how you're going to pay for the system. So if you're planning to draw money out of your savings, retirement, or whatever, and pay cash for the system, then the long-term cost of going solar will be much lower. You're going to pay a lot less interest for one, and any bank fees you won't have to pay on the loan. Not everybody can do that, and one of the things that's really changed a lot in the industry just in the past few years is the quality and availability of loans for solar specifically. So if you want to do a loan, They have zero upfront cost, loans available, and you can take them out typically 20 years, even 30 years if you wanted to, which will give you a really small monthly payment, cutting back your electricity cost from day one, a huge amount, and at low interest rates. The third option is doing a lease or a PPA, which is a power purchase agreement. And the way that works is actually really simple. You won't own the solar system, the panels, you won't pay for the installation or anything on that maintenance, but you'll have a solar company that will own everything, and you just simply buy the power that that solar system is going to produce. It's very similar to just going with a different utility company instead of the one you've been paying for years. You're just going with a lower cost provider. So the fifth and final factor determining the cost of your solar system will be the size. So if you go with a smaller system versus a bigger system, then obviously that smaller system is going to cost less. But if you have a bigger system, that's probably because your energy needs are greater, which means you have a higher electricity bill, which means just how much that much more to save through having a solar system in the first place. So this size is going to be determined by really two things. How much sunlight is available where you're putting your panels. The more sunlight hitting those panels, the more efficient of the system, meaning you need less panels to produce more power. The second thing is how much energy your house needs. And really the only way to find this out is look through your electricity history for the past year or two to find out how much you've been using. And then determine how much sunlight is hitting those panels. We do have a easy to use and free calculator that you can use at makesolargreat.com. Check that out and that'll help you out through this. So if these factors kind of hit optimally, you're going to be looking at a price for solar anywhere from 6 cents to around 12 cents on the higher side per unit of electricity, kilowatt hour. The national average in the United States is almost 13 cents as of 2018. So if you're right on the average and you drop it 7 cents, I know that only sounds like, okay, 7 cents, that's nothing. But if you're using 12,000 kilowatt hours per year times your savings of 7 cents per kilowatt hour, you can see there's a lot of money to be saved there every single month, every single day you turn on the electricity. Thanks for watching. Join our clean energy movement. Visit FresYesEnergy.com. Follow @FresYesEnergy. Email Darren @FresYesEnergy.com.